This video is brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Hello, baseball fans. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Is Max Scherzer a good fit in Atlanta? Could that be the case? He's a surefire Hall of Famer. We know that. He's probably going to go in first ballot. He has the accolades: 3-time Cy Young, 8-time All-Star, 2-time World Series. The only concern I have is this. It's that he's 40 years old. He will turn 41 in late July. The past 2 seasons, he has not reached 50 innings. There's a lot of concern there. Now, a lot of people are going to say that, well, Tyler, that means that we shouldn't touch this. And I agree with you in large part. But I would also say that just because the numbers may not have been there the past couple of years, doesn't mean you shouldn't touch it at all, because I think you can at least have a conversation. I don't want to pay Max Scherzer even what Charlie Morton is making based on the last couple of years, not because he's pitched bad, but because he hasn't pitched consistently. I think that helps you in negotiations. I think if you can get Max Scherzer for $10 million or less, you do it. The problem is, I don't believe you're going to have a situation where Scherzer is going to want to take less than that unless he just has a desire to continue pitching, which he may. I'm not sure. But what I do think is this. The Braves need some kind of consistency in the starting rotation, right? You have 2 empty spots, at least temporarily. We broke that down last week. Strider will be back at some point. I would imagine around May-ish, if you're lucky. That's at least the thought. We don't know what he's going to pitch like once he is back, but that is where we're at as of right now. We'll see how it goes, but at least until then, you're going to have 2 empty slots. You for sure have 1 empty slot for the entirety of the season that you at least don't have just a guaranteed name for, right? We spoke earlier about Ian Anderson, Bryce Elder, A.J. Smith-Shawver, Grant Holmes, all possibly competing in spring training for those slots. And I think that's a possibility. And I will say this. I would say that I think your money goes further in the bullpen because you can spend less and get more pitchers in quantity. That will probably not cover as many innings, but you can use some of these guys I just mentioned in your starter role and really hunker down on the bullpen and make that the focus. And look, Max Scherzer last year, he only started 9 games from June to September. He had a 2-4 win-loss record. He had a close to a 4 ERA. He's got a career 3.16 ERA because Stone Cold said so. To me, it comes down to the dynamic of the team. Does the front office want to spend money on the starting rotation at all? Do they want to limit how much they spend? If so, that goes to help this point. I'm not sure just yet. I'm curious to see where we go from here and what happens. What I will say is I don't think it's likely, mainly because we've already heard that the Braves are targeting bullpen pieces. They're having conversations with Tanner Scott. They were in on Jeff Hoffman, had an offer out for, I want to say, 5 years, $45 million, something along those lines. Didn't work out. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But it comes down to the dynamic of the team. What's available, what makes sense, and what Alex Anthopoulos can make happen without breaking the bank. That, to me, is where I think this is going to, really come from, is what's in front of Alex Anthopoulos, what can he do to make the team better? And it may be, just like Wiley Ballard said earlier, it may be that the Braves decide, you know what, we're going to hold until the trade deadline because there will likely be more available at the deadline. You may be able to trade for some pieces that otherwise wouldn't be available unless their teams stuck it up this year, which we saw what the White Sox did last year. You may be able to capitalize on some fire sales at the deadline and address a need or multiple needs that you didn't know you had on opening day, right? Right now, we think everybody's going to be healthy and everything's going to be fine. We learned last year, can't count on that necessarily. So I think it's going to come down to the dynamics of the team. I think it's going to really matter with how this team is shaped and how this team performs in spring training. That's going to be, I think, the main caveat here is, I hate to say I think they're going to wait that long, but I don't think Scherzer is exactly a name that makes you go, at least at this point in his career, that makes you go, yes, we will spend $15 million on Max Scherzer. If this was 3 years ago, maybe. Even after his time with the Dodgers, maybe. But he hasn't been the guy that he was in the first 10 years of his career. He hasn't been consistently able to even take the mound, much less consistent on the mound. So it's a tough situation. I would venture to say no. I would venture to say that I don't think it's going to happen, but at the right price, it could. There's been a lot of chatter about this. I don't think Max Scherzer is the guy that they're targeting. I don't think that is at all where the Braves are going from here. I think it would have to be that Max Scherzer expressed interest in pitching for the Braves and would take a sweet hometown deal for an opportunity, for a chance at maybe proving himself in a one-year deal or having a last hurrah or having one more chance at a World Series or something to that effect. I think it's going to come down to something like that. And look, again, Max Scherzer, surefire Hall of Famer, but he's not a surefire 2025 Atlanta Brave. That's the way I view it. This video has been brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Baseball fans, make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. As always, thank you for your support.